Hello guys, Fish767 here. So I have this really silly double Steam to show you. Now it's not like technically legal, but it makes for funny battles if you can do custom battles with friends over on Pokémon Showdown. So let's go over it real quick. We have a Focus Sash Ninja with Wonder Guard. It knows Trick, Ally Switch, Toxic, and Hex. And it's got plus speed, hasty ability here, and then it's got plus special attack for the Hex. And then we have the rest and attack because what else are you going to put it in? Because it's got 1 HP. And then we just did the minus defense. Next we have an Eviolite Dusclops, which is absolutely stupid. It knows Curse, Will-O-Wisp, Rest, Toxic. We put all of it into defense pretty much. This is super tanky Dusclops. Then we have this Magnezone. It has Lagging Tail, Sturdy, Volt Switch, Explosion, Gyro Ball, Toxic. And then most of our EVs went into defense and health, with a little bit into attack. And the idea behind this Magnezone here is that we're going to Volt Switch after the Audino grabs the Magnezone Sturdy with a skill swap. So then we have this Audino, which has the ability healer, Simple Beam, skill swap, protect, life dew, and then it has the item leftovers. But in these battles that I'm about to show you, I forgot to give it an item, so it didn't have leftovers, and it worked okay. But we put most of it into HP, and then special defense and a little bit into defense. We don't really care about attacking with this. Then we have Salamence and Garchomp here, and these are just your basic sweepers. We have a Choice Scarf, Salamence with Brick Break, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Facade, and it has max attack, max speed, and a Jolly Nature, and then a little bit into special defense. And then the Garchomp has Rocky Helmet with the Rough Skin, which is really going to hurt. And then we maxed out its attack and its speed with a little bit into special defense, same as the Salamence. And it knows Shadow Claw, Brick Break, Crunch, and Dragon Claw. And so these two are just sweepers in case our sturdy Shedinja fails. But if it works, then it's going to be very hard to kill the Shedinja. Very, very hard. Okay, so as far as I know, there's no normal poisons, so we should have decent enough coverage to defeat any, like literally any Pokemon. So let's go ahead and see the replays. So this one was hilarious. I go for the setup immediately, and it just kind of fails. Mostly because my Audino got paralyzed, and so I couldn't move fast enough to actually do anything about it. But I didn't let that stop me from trying. Let it be known that I tried. Now, the issue that I had here was that Simple Beam doesn't work when you use Ally Switch. So I just really quick switched out. Like, he was anticipating another Ally Switch. But anyway, the Audino ended up taking some hits there, and I just life dewed it up. Then we have the Hex on the Audino, which failed, and then the Blizzard on the Dusclops, which I don't even know what was going on. So I'm going to curse the Goodra. And then I'm going to steal the Goodra's Sap Sipper for no reason. And then I'm like, what am I even going to do here? This is like kind of bad. So I rest the Dusclops to heal it all the way back up. And then I'm going to skill swap with the Dusclops. So now the Dusclops has Sap Sipper, which is just hilarious. And now, this is probably the best play of the entire game in my opinion. I'm going to steal the Aftermath off the Drifloon, which isn't going to have an effect until near the end of the battle, but it's still hilarious. So I switch out to the Magnezone because I know that something's going to die here. I didn't want it to be my Dusclops. And then I life dewed with the Audino, kind of hoping that the Magnezone didn't die immediately, but it did. So I sent out the Garchomp now because I gotta get rid of that Dynamax Goodra. So it's gonna die. And then of course it's ground type, so it's immune to the Thunder Wave there. And so here comes the Vileplume, and I'm just going to Shadow Claw this Drifloon to get it out of the way, and it doesn't have Aftermath anymore, which means I don't die. Otherwise I'd probably die. So I'm trying to life dew with the Audino, and it's just paralyzed, not working. So I'm going to Dynamax this Garchomp to try and not die, basically. That's the goal here. And I really don't want the Audino to die. So the life dew ends up working really well on the Audino, and then because of the Dynamax, it doesn't work as well on the Garchomp. And then I'm going to get a little bit greedy and go for the Max Knuckle, which ends up failing. So, oops. That's my fault. So then we're going to heal up with the Audino, toss in the Shedinja, and start doing some really stupid ally switch hacks. Okay, so he thinks that Ice is super effective against Bug, which in my opinion it should be. I don't know what's going on with that. And so then Quagsire comes in. He's going to try to Ice Punch with the Quagsire. And it doesn't work. At all. So I'm going to ally switch with the Audino again. And that makes things like really fun, but now the Audino's dead. But the Aftermath comes and hits the Quagsire pretty hard. So we're going to send in this Dusclops now. And already, it's just really funny what's going on. Because I was talking in Discord with a guy, and he's like, why can't I hit the Shedinja? What's going on? And I'm like, it's just the most funny thing. So now, we got the Salamence coming out, and the Salamence has Fire Fang. I think. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I ally switch there to stop the Fire Fang, and then the Giga Drain just hits the Shedinja. Or, well, it doesn't, but it's funny. And now the Dusclops is resting. And he thinks that I'm going to ally switch again, which I didn't. So we miss another turn of attacks, basically. And now he's actually going to hit it. But I have a Focus Sash, so it's not dead yet. And now we're going to kill the Salamence. And now the Shedinja has Trick. So I'm like, before it dies, I'm just going to take an item. That's probably the most damage that I can do with it. So I Trick, and I get a Focus Sash. And it's the most hilarious thing. So I steal the Focus Sash. And now the Shedinja's not dead yet. Now the Dusclops has finally woken up and has cursed the Vileplume. And so now I need to swap with his Dusclops. And now the Dusclops is going to go down in the ancient power. But that's just fine. Because the Shedinja's still around. And that was just to really spite my opponent. It was hilarious. And so now we're going to send out the Sweeper Salamax. So we're going to Earthquake here. Which does a pretty decent amount of damage. I'm going to take the Rocky Helmet off the Quagsire. And now the Shedinja's going to die. And of course, high horsepower is a ground type move, Salamence is flying type, and that's that one all wrapped up. So yeah, that's how that one went. So I've got another one here for you. And now this one's a little bit different. So I started out with the Dusclops of Salamence because I knew that Corviknight was going to come out, and Corviknight is a big problem if it stays on the field too long. So we're going to Brick Break on the Darmanitan because I don't want it around because Ice type moves against the Salamence. And then the Corviknight's going to use Iron Defense, but I need to burn it, because I obviously can't poison it. So we're going to burn it, and then I'm going to try and Brick Break the Darmanitan. And I was going to try to burn the Darmanitan in case it moved faster. I wasn't sure what the Zen mode was doing. But that didn't end up happening, so I tried burning the Corviknight a second time. Then we have the Dracovish come in, which is a really big issue, because it's pretty strong. So we got to get it out, so I have to send in my Garchomp. Which is, unfortunate to say the least. That shouldn't have happened. Well, I mean, I'm glad that I did because I ended up winning. But send in the Garchomp, kill the Dracovish. Because, yeah. But now my sweepers are basically out of the way because I can't really switch out my Garchomp now. So, we have a Mimikyu come in. And the Mimikyu, I'm like, this is not good. This is not good at all. Because if the Mimikyu gets set up and it sweeps, then I have a big issue on my hands. So it's going to go for the Swords Dance. Getting set up, and I'm going to try and kill it with a Shadow Claw, but unfortunately it's just not quite enough. So it's going to play rough on my Garchomp, but the Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin is going to take down the Mimikyu. And now the Corviknight's just over here attacking my Dusclops like crazy, and it's not really doing too much. So now we have the Audino Dusclops combo, which is stupid, and you're about to see why. So we got the Life Dew on the Audino, which is enough to keep the Dusclops, like, just set. And now we're going to Toxic the Dragapult. So, now it's just really, how long can I sit here without dying? And we're going to see that it's a long time. So I tried to Will-O-Wisp because I really didn't have anything to do. I can't quite curse because I don't have enough health. So, yep. Now the Corviknight's going to use Substitute. That's going to stay for a while, and I was going to try and Simple Beam the Corviknight, but I couldn't because Substitute. So then I'm going to rest on the Dusclops, and then we have the healer from the Audino just unsleep the Dusclops right away, and now I'm at full health here. And so I can curse. So we're going to curse this turn, and the Life Dew off the Audino, obviously, which I was hoping was going to go after the curse, but it didn't. So we cursed the Corviknight, which is really good because now the Corviknight's going to die faster. And the Dragapult for some reason has to struggle. It's because it had, what was it? I can't remember. It's because pressure on the Draco Meteor, and it had like choice specs or something. So anyway, we get another rest healer, and now the Dragapult's dead. So all that's left is this Toxicity, which I don't want around because Toxicity is very scary. So he's going to Volt Switch there, but nothing to switch into. Then now I'm going to get rid of the Punk Rock. And I'm going to try to Curse, but it doesn't work because I think it targeted Corviknight. It's random, by the way. You can't select what you want to Curse. It's just kind of a toss-up. So at this point, I've Will-O-Wisp the Toxicity to hopefully try to minimize the Volt Switch damage. And also because the Curse failed me, so I didn't want to just sit there doing nothing. And the Corviknight is just roosting a lot. And now I'm going to Curse the Toxicity, but of course my Dusclops is dead because the Life Dew didn't heal for enough. And so now, all that's left is to try for the sturdy Shedinja combo. So I send out the Magnezone, and I'm trying to set it up here. But, you know, it doesn't quite work. For some odd reason, the abilities didn't switch. So, I don't know what happened. Because it says Audino swapped abilities, but the abilities didn't switch. Audino still has Healer. So I'm going to go ahead here and Simple Beam the Shedinja. And did I already use the... no, I didn't. So Sash the Shedinja. That way it doesn't die. The Corviknight's just about dead. Now I'm going to Skill Swap here, but it only has Healer. It doesn't have Sturdy because I didn't get the Sturdy off the Magnezone. And then the Corviknight died. So it was kind of a toss. Like, it was a wash, I mean. And now we have this other battle that was hilarious. So this was with a different team. So let me actually show you that team real quick. Let's see. It was this team. So this was a Ghost-type team. And we have a Dragapult, which I had no idea how to play. So I put Eject button on it, gave it Infiltrator, Dragon Tail, Sucker Punch, U-Turn, Draco Meteor, Max Speed and Attack, and then a little bit into the Special Attack. I actually don't know why I did that. That should have gone into Defense. Anyway, then we have the Gengar, which Black Sludge, Curse Body, Rest, Toxic, Drain Punch, Substitute, and it has all of its things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't show up in the fight. Then we have Cofagrigus. It's Chesto, Berry, Mummy, Rest, Trick Room, Ira Defense, Body Press. And then we got Max Defense here and Max Special Defense, and we're just going to try to Body Press, but that failed. Then we have this Dusclops. It doesn't really matter. It wasn't used in the fight. Then we have this Trevenant. It has Citrus Berry, Harvest, which is hilarious. Sunny Day, Horn Leech, Power Up Punch, and Calm Mind. And then it has max in the HP and then max special defense and minus on the speed. And then we have Alolan Marowak, Focus Sash, and it is a level 28 because we're trying to do the Endeavor Pain Split stuff. And yeah, the pain split kind of failed me. So I'll just let you watch this one. I messed up really badly, but it's still hilarious. So I sent out the Cofagrigus, and we're trying to do the Cofagrigus things that the Cofagrigus does. And I set up a Trick Room. And so that makes slower Pokemon go faster. But there's one issue, because the Cofagrigus gets taken out way sooner than I thought it would. I thought I was going to sweep here, but of course the Cofagrigus just dies. So I send out the Alolan Marowak. I'm like, I gotta kill this Ranunculus. But now I'm moving faster than it. So Fear doesn't work if you're faster than the Ranunculus. So yeah, that didn't work. And now it's going to recover, which is a big issue. And now I'm like, I'm just going to protect, you know? There's not much I can do. So I sit here for 2 turns and I protect. And now the Ranunculus is switching out, and I'm like, well, that doesn't work. And so now that its move wasn't disabled, it just kills me, because the Trick Room wore off. So that was like a wash. So Sucker Punch with a Dragapult manages to kill the Ranunculus, which is nice. And then Draco Meteor doesn't do as much as I was hoping it would. But the Meteor Mash switches out the Dragapult into a Trevenant. And now I'm just going to sweep with the Trevenant, because Sunny Day Citrus Berry Harvest is kind of broken. So I'll just let you watch it. There's nothing that I really need to narrate here. It's just hilarious how this ended up working out. But the Trevenant is basically unkillable. And it was a beautiful thing to have happen. So yeah, you guys could just watch that. Oh my goodness. When I was on Discord talking to my friend while this was going on, like he was having a tough time figuring out why the Trevenant wouldn't die. And it was just hilarious. Like, if you have friends that play Pokemon Showdown, I encourage you to test this team out with them. Because it is stupid. Just these little combos. Like, they're not even... They're like accidents, really. What ends up happening. But I thought that this was hilarious. It was just absolutely stupid. Oh, now, this was one point where I was really scared because the Fire Punch, and then I Sunny Day'd, which is just going to make it stronger. So I'm like, oh shoot. But I didn't die, so it's all good. Now, if I had, I probably still would have been able to sweep with the Dragapult or the Gengar. But we may never know. We may never know. Yep, so we're just going. Now, the substitute's going to save him for a turn. But it's like, whatever. Actually, it's going to save him for 2 turns. And the Meteor Mash actually did a lot of damage, and I'm just kind of worried now. Especially because I didn't get the Citrus Berry back. So I'm like, I have to Horn Leech, otherwise I'm dead. But the good news is, I got the Citrus Berry back, so I didn't die. It was just the best timing for everything. And then, of course, Harvest trigger... Oh, no. Never mind, Harvest didn't trigger. But anyway, he's going to G-Max that Gallade, and it's just going to do nothing. And then I'm just going to punch it. And yeah, that's how you win a battle right there. It was hilarious. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. That's always helpful. And if you really liked it and want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe. So you might as well check out some of my other videos too. I haven't done anything about Pokemon. I've really wanted to, but it was kind of one of those things where it was difficult for me to do so. But now I'm able to do, you know, just some Showdown stuff with my buddies. And so I can show you guys that. And just pass it on to you. Pass on the happiness. So I hope that you guys liked it. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.